coastal cliffs, and west to the elegant mansions of Hove, among them Evelyn's childhood home on Brunswick Square. 12 years before, her parents had disapproved of her move from Hove to Brighton. It had been another measure of Geoffrey's unsuitability. Her new husband was not a man of independent means. Her parents did not know of his family. His mother, they'd learned from local sources, had not been of sound mind. Geoffrey did not drink enough to pass muster in her father's club. Even the very comfortable townhouse on Park Crescent had failed to impress them. It hardly mattered that its Regency Park had reminded her of the gardens of Brunswick Square, where she'd played and read for long hours as a girl. It wouldn't do to choose a house on a whim, her mother had said. There were slums near Park Crescent. The slaughterhouse was too close. The racecourse was also too close, with its blight of criminality. Even the beach at Brighton had been spoiled by tawdry pleasure-seekers. A Brighton address would be their ruin. They moved into number 7 on the 1st of May 1928, and shocked her mother by dispensing with a live-in maid. Instead, Tilly came to them each morning from her own house on Magdalen Street, or rather, she had come until the week before, when her husband was called up. In the shop that afternoon, Evelyn had clutched Tilly's list and gathered the items as if each were a talisman against uncertainty, and if the uncertainty was great, the weight of her basket was greater still. On her journey home, she balanced an oversized box of soap flakes, a storm lamp, parcels of candles, boxes of matches, a bottle of witch hazel, first aid provisions, bars of carbolic soap, emergency lavatory paper, and a bottle of cod liver oil. As she walked, she stopped several times to shake the blood back into her right arm, though she never let go of the plait of onions that she gripped to her ribcage with her left arm. When the king had surprised the country with his unprecedented call for a day of national prayer, it was warning enough. Whatever the BBC said, the situation could only be dire. Still, she'd procrastinated, pushing Tilly's list deep into a pocket and avoiding the town centre for most of that week, the seafront in particular, for she couldn't bear to see the boats lurching onto the beach and toppling with the wounded and the frightened. Fear was an infection, airborne, seaborne, rolling in off the channel, and although no one spoke of it, no one was immune to it. 50 miles of water was a slim moat to an enemy that had taken 5 countries in 2 months, and Brighton, regrettably, had for centuries been hailed as an excellent place to land. At home again, in the kitchen that had until only the week before been Tilly's domain, Evelyn lowered her basket, pulled off each glove, unbuckled her jacket, and gobbled water from her hand at the sink. It was hot for late May, ridiculously hot, but she felt relieved by the success of her expedition, and now, as she heaved open the kitchen windows, time slowed. Her breath deepened. The scent of lilac spilled in from the terrace. Only when the front door slammed and Philip charged up the stairs to his room, singing out his hello, did she turn at last to reassemble the day. Her prize onions lay where she'd dropped them, on a kitchen chair, looped like 3 feet of baubles on a piece of parcel string. She'd forgotten the ticket in her purse and had experienced a childish rush of pleasure and embarrassment that morning as Mrs. Chavasse waved her forward to the front of the WI hall to collect her winnings. When would anyone have French onions again? She slipped out of her jacket and into Tilly's apron. At the table, the arc of her nail cut cleanly through the first onion, and its